What happens when a child misbehaves in Japan? Kiboko, kiboko. Do parents shout? Do they use physical punishment? Or is discipline handled in a completely different way? If you grew up in many Western or African households, the way Japanese parents discipline their children might surprise you. Because in Japan, punishment is often silent, psychological, and deeply connected to social harmony. And sometimes the punishment is simply disappointment. Let's explore how Japanese parents actually discipline their children. In many cultures, punishment is meant to make a child afraid of repeating a mistake. But in Japan, the focus is usually different. The goal is to teach children how their actions affect others. Japanese parenting strongly emphasizes a concept called omoiyari, empathy and consideration for other people. Instead of saying, "You are bad," Michael Jackson, a Japanese parent is more likely to say, "You made others feel uncomfortable." This shifts the child's thinking way from punishment and toward social responsibility. In a society where harmony is extremely important, this lesson becomes very powerful. The silent treatment. One of the most punishments in Japan might sound so simple, but emotionally it can be very powerful. If a child behaves badly, some parents temporarily withdraw attention. They may become quiet or distant for a short time. This isn't meant to emotionally damage the child. Instead, it signals you have disrupted the harmony between us. For many Japanese children who grow up with close emotional bonds to their parents, this feeling of temporary disconnection can be a strong motivator to reflect and correct their mistakes or behavior. Public shame versus private correction. Another interesting difference is where discipline happens. Japanese parents usually avoid loudly scolding their children in public. Africa, we know you people. The slippers and the belt in Africa, they work, eh? Instead, they may wait until they are at home. Why? Because embarrassing someone publicly can damage social harmony. But once they are home, parents will carefully explain why the behavior was wrong. The focus is often on questions like, how do you think the other person felt? Or, was that the right thing to do? This encourages self-reflection rather than simple obedience. Natural consequences. Japanese parents also rely heavily on something called natural consequences. Instead of strict punishments, they sometimes allow children to experience the results of their actions. For example, if a child forgets their homework, the parent might not rush to fix it. The child then faces the teacher's reaction the next day. This teaches accountability without constant parental enforcement. In this way, children learn that their choices directly affect their lives. Africa, is that the case for your children? Comment down below. The rare use of physical punishment. Physical punishment exists in many cultures around the world, but in modern Japan, it's becoming increasingly rare. Japanese society has shifted strongly towards non-violent discipline methods. Schools, communities, and government policies now strongly discourage corporal punishment. Corporal punishment. Most parents prefer conversation, guidance, and emotional signals instead. A famous Japanese punishment There's also a punishment many people outside Japan find unusual. It's called seiza. Seiza is the traditional Japanese kneeling position. Sometimes children are asked to kneel in seiza for a short time to reflect on their behavior. It's not meant to cause harm. Instead, it creates a moment of quiet reflection and respect. However, this practice is becoming less common in modern families. The power of disappointment. Perhaps the strongest punishment in Japanese culture is something very subtle: disappointing your parents. In Japan, children often feel deep sense of responsibility towards family expectations. When a parent calmly says, "I am disappointed," it can carry an enormous emotional weight on the kid. For many Japanese children, that feeling is far more powerful than shouting or physical punishment. So, Japanese discipline may look quiet from the outside, but beneath that silence is a powerful system focused on empathy, responsibility, and social harmony. Instead of fear, the goal is self-awareness. And that might be why many Japanese children grow up highly aware of how their actions can affect the people around them. But what do you think? Would this style of discipline work where you grew up? Let me know in the comments. Ja, matane.